Okay, so I thought I'd give you a look-see here on some of the lure stuff that I'm making. So I've got some stuff set up to make size 4s, which gives you that type of size blade. And essentially, I'm going to use these smaller gold bodies, teardrop bodies. These work real well for small lures. And then of course you need a wire. This is .35 closed eye loop wire that I use. And that is extra strong. It's way stronger than the stock stuff that comes from any of the lure companies. On the smaller lures, I'm going to go ahead and use a smaller size 12 hook. I don't like these for size 9s and size 15s in the Panther Martin way, but I like these for the smaller lures and for winter presentations. And then ultimately you need some type of a bearing or bead. I have plenty to choose from, but we'll show you how to go ahead and get that set up. So you take your wire, and that's the best place to start. But after you have your wire handy, you can go ahead and slide on your blade like such through the hole, and now you need the bearing there. So I'll take a look at my bead bucket, and I'll use a smaller gold bead right there, so you can see that that gets on there nice and easy. That's going to be the bearing setup. And then the body goes on like that, and then you can see already that the lure's going to spin very, very nicely. And then the machine. So the first bend that you have to get is the eyelet for the hook, and I always center these so that the hook is nice and in line, parallel with it. You go around, you go about that far, I'd say, and then you can see exactly what I've got there. And then it requires a trim. And then you place a hook directly on, and then that goes back here into the wire tying machine. I like to get it kind of crunched down and then twist away. And there it is. Ready to go, size 4. This is an example of another one that I made. This again is a size 4, but it's got a clevis. Clevis is that part right there. And this blade's a little bit bigger, but I love that dimpled blade. That's going to be so shiny. And I put a plastic bead on this one too. And again, it's the smaller hook, because this is a outlying size 4, but it's still a size 4. And then I'll also show you some of the other ones. So here's a size 9, and you can see that right there on the Panther Martin blade. And this is with a larger bodied lure. And here you got a bigger hook. You got a size 10 hook, so that's kind of interesting. And I'll show you some of the others. And here's one that I'll plan to use for steelhead. You can see how much bigger of a lure it is. I think you get the idea. I can tell you though, come fall, I'm certain that 3-inch fish will be hitting this monster, and that's a big hammered blade with a 1/2 ounce body. And then you can see there's a bead on there. And then you can see the size of that hook, which is much bigger than what I would use for anything but steelhead, but this one sure is gorgeous. And then here's an example of what you can do too. This again is another steelhead lure, but you'll notice this manufacturer, I mean that's a Blue Fox 5. So again, another big steelhead lure. But what I did is I went ahead and got it worked out with a much stronger wire. But I used all of their components. So you've got in this one, you've got their little rattle inside the bell, and then this big size 4 hook. I don't like using a hook this big, even for steelhead, but my friend Sasquatch, he would rather have a 2 even. I just don't think there's any reason to go that big. I was catching them on those size 10 hooks, and salmon were easily handled. However, my buddies that use a lot of drag did get a chance to stress out and over stress those hooks, but I told them to use a drag, but they wouldn't listen to me. Go figure. And here's a standard, I was using this size lure, size 15, from about May 15th on, all season. And fish anywhere from 3 to 23 inches were biting this thing this year. And you can see it's a size 10 hook. This is really the hook I like, and these are those laser reds, and they're so sharp. This is a bit of a repurposed one. It's not quite as shiny as the cleanest. And then here's an example. Can't remember if I showed you this one or not, but this is an example of a number 6 with the super micro ball flash, dimples on it, and the small hook. So that gives you an idea what you can do and what I'm doing with lures and the parts that I use to put them together. Happy fishing. And then I thought I'd also just take a little bit of time here and show you what I've got for lures. So these here would be the size 9s. I've got some bigger 15s here just because I've got some extras, and these are the super big 15 plus. And then down on this rack is all 15s. You can see the variety of blade styles I'm using, some repurpose of other parts. The golden minnow is one that I really like. Trying to see what's here. Oh, there's a silver minnow. And then on this rack we've got size 6s. And the one that I really like here that I'm trying out with some new parts are these Vibrax copies with the little chum in there. And you can see I'm moving together with some Panther Martin stuff and clones. So I recycle and reuse all these parts. And then up here we have the size 4s, the smaller size blades. That'll be winter. And we'll also shoot for some 2s. I've got a salvage part of 2s coming. This gives you an idea of the lures.